Monday and you were paid Friday. You've been here not half an hour yet, and most of that time ill spent. Oh, I looked out that window and thought I was seeing things. I thought, what have we come to after all? What's it going to be next? First Emmeline letting my transistor radio run down, and then no sooner do I let her go than you start in. Well, you can send your new employers to me for a reference, but don't expect me to cover up for you. Works well, I'll say, but tinkles on the flowers. Maybe some won't mind. Couldn't you just take a little longer over this? Mrs. Emerson raised her chin and looked past him, twiddling with the empty sleeves of her sweater. She said, Longer? Why should I take longer? I've made up my mind. But if you gave it your thought some, who could you find that would work as good as me? Whole multitudes, said Mrs. Emerson. But I won't be looking. I'm too disappointed. Everywhere I turn, there's someone failing me. Well, that's the end of that. From now on, I'll do it all myself. Paint the shutters? Keep that creaky old plumbing fixed? Climb up to clean the gutters in them little spiky shoes? Mrs. Emerson had already turned to go. She paused, lifting one hand to test a curl. It was a sign of uncertainty, and Richard knew it. But then he had to go and ruin it for himself. You'll be calling me back, Mrs. E., he said. You'll call. Never, said Mrs. Emerson. Then she went off on tiptoe to keep from sinking into the lawn. She kept a pack of playing cards on her dining room table. She sat down on the edge of a chair, smoothing her skirt beneath her, and reached for the cards and began laying out a game of solitaire with sharp little snaps. Her breathing was too rapid. She made a point of slowing it, sitting erect, aligning the cards carefully before she started playing. But unfinished questions kept running through her head. Should she have? How could he? Why had she? The sun from the bay window fuzzed the edges of the sweater draping her shoulders, lit the flecks of powder across the bridge of her nose. She had once been very pretty. She still was, but now that her children were grown, there was something brave about the prettiness. She had started having to work for it. She had to fight the urge to spend her days in comfortable shoes and forget her chin strap and let herself go. Mornings, patting a pearly base coat over her cheekbones, she noticed how she seemed to be falling into separate pieces. Her face was a series of pouches tenuously joined by transparent skin, reminding her of the tissue-covered frames of model airplanes that her sons used to make. Her close-set blue eyes were divided by minute cracks. Her mouth had bunched in upon itself so that she permanently wore the sulky look she had once had as a child. All she had left was color, pink, white, blonde, most of it false. Weekly she went to the hairdresser and returned newly gilded, with her scalp feeling tight as if it were drawing away from her face. She dressed up for everything, even breakfast. She owned no slacks. Her thin, sharp legs were always in ultra-sheer stockings, and her closet was full of those spike-heeled shoes that made her arches ache. But when her children visited, and she stood at the door to meet them, wearing pastels, holding out smooth white hands with polished nails, she had seen how relieved they looked. Relieved and a little disappointed. She had survived their desertion. She had not become a broken old lady after all. She put the red 7 on the black 8. Now the 6 could go up. She looked across the table out the bay window and saw Richard standing exactly where she had left him. His shoulders were slumped. The pruning shears were dangling from one hand. Would still more be expected of her? But as she watched, he dropped the shears and started off toward the tool shed behind the house. She would have to put the shears away herself then. She had no idea where they went. She turned an ace up, then another. Along came Richard, carrying an old suit jacket, a brown paper bag, a thermos bottle. He was plodding. That was the only word for it. Thinking she was watching. Well, she wasn't. She snapped the last card down, checked for possibilities one more time, and then hitched her bracelets back and gathered the cards into a deck again.